Yeah.
We can tell it for other players as well. So,
hi, Levon. Congratulations.
Hi, Levon. Congratulations.
Amazing day.
Yes. So, what do you have to tell about the game, Levon?
I don't know, actually. It was, I think I was missing many things. At some point, I thought I had a big advantage, but then somehow he got everything together.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell briefly after the opening, what feelings did you hear the news about the candidates?
No, not really.
It's postponed until 2021 spring.
Yeah, I was telling to the guys, to Fabi and everybody, I was saying, this is ridiculous. You guys, instead I should just play a match with Magnus and it will solve all the problems.
I've actually been working on this show format. I know you're aware of my Farmageddon ideas, but I have this new format since I've been watching a lot of trash TV, which in German I was calling der Schacheler. In English it would be something like the Chesseler. And it's loosely based on a show, The Bachelor, but it includes 40 women being locked up in my basement. And whoever does well for the week gets, instead of a rose, which you usually get, they would get a key so they can move around a bit more freely.
No comment. Oh, even
F3, cute.
Whoa, hang on.
You can take in Queen G3. Did he calculate that?
I guess the pawn ending is lost, right?
Still a very weird way to come.
Yeah, it's probably just give this check, take on G3, go Rook B2, and you're unlikely to run into any issues. But this also wins. We can even check from F1 to make us one tempo further ahead, and then King B5, King B4, and so on. Showing some flair there for sure. And the scores are level.
Okay. Try and go for a rook attack here. Fork, please blunder. Yes. Now I have a chance. No, I forgot to take the rook. Damn it. And we have a loss. Oops. That wasn't good. That wasn't good at all. How did I forget to take the rook first?
Those jumps you mentioned.
I've fallen foul of them many times.
Oh, and we suddenly have Magnus's picture there.
All right. Maybe Magnus is so disgusted he's taken over from Fallujah.
Well, rest assured, Magnus Carlsen is not playing this game. I wonder what he is doing now. He must still be a little bit in shock.
We've seen a flurry of moves there. Nakamura shaking his head. White has a winning idea here. White is going to make a new queen.
Oh, look at Hikaru.
Wow, look at this.
We will have to recap this. Nakamura... White has made a new queen. He sacrificed his old queen. He made a new one with his pawn. And look, this other pawn is racing up the board. We're about to see two queens on the board. And
the game is over.
It is.
Hikaru Nakamura just runs off. He lost this game. He is furious.
He's disgusted. He had it under control and it will just...
Fork, the knight is checking the black king and is going to win the rook. It is game over. He has done it. And we will see an Armageddon.
We will see an Armageddon between Hikaru Nakamura and Maxim Vachier-Lagrave. And Hikaru Nakamura looks like he is full of energy right now.
Yeah, we saw him chuckling to himself there.
And look at Maxim. He can't believe he messed this up.
Yeah, he had the most beautiful position there was. He was not only see Levon play such an aggressive opening. So it doesn't quite look like an aggressive thing, but it's what you do when you want to take risks. You want to provoke your opponent to come forward, just as Nepomniachtchi is doing, and then he will strike. It's like a hedgehog type system.
That's right. Actually, this opening is called the hippopotamus because you wallow in the mud. You just hang out on your first 3 ranks as black. You just wait, and when you get the opportunity, you pounce. This one, you notice as well, nothing has left the board. No trades have happened. Black still has all of his pawns, all of his pieces, and that's why this is such a combative fighting opening for black. You keep as much tension as possible. Normally, this is supposed to be quite good for white, but I just like the fact that Aronian, he's gambling everything. He's keeping all that.
Think about why is he angry?
I don't really understand why he's angry. Surely, I mean, that was White's most obvious move. That was White's only move. And there's nothing too terrible with black's position right now. The world champion just doubting himself, I think. He's just...
I think he thinks he's going to suffer in an endgame. And a long, long endgame. And it's going to be suffering because of those pawns on the left side, and he's just focusing on that.
I think there's only... Good question, Kaya. I would have taken it. I think it's just a matter of taste. He's going after White's corner pawn there on the right first. Okay, he could have grabbed pawn there, but Wesley So resigns.
Wesley So resigns in the game. His first game with the white pieces. We thought this could be the game that he would win, but it is Magnus Carlsen who is the first winner in a game in the final. The world champion is up by 1 point.
I think it's wrong thinking to now look for next world champion in the among the youngsters, because it's possible, of course, that no one will become world champion from the current elite. But frankly, there's so many players who are a threat to Magnus, like real threat. Fabi is always there. Wesley is also there. I mean, besides the fact that Magnus is like a world champion, there is not much evidence why he's now stronger than Wesley So, for example. If you look at the quality of games, the level, Wesley just played better, no?
Remember what you told me when I offered you a draw on move 15?
I know you remember, so
I remember.
I probably said it's a bit early, but yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. You told me it's a bit early, but it's fine.
Oh boy, the good old days.
Yeah, that was the start of a great friendship.
Going to chess tournaments, making lots of draws, qualifying for World Cups. What our life used to be.
A little bit more solid, but this is okay. Rook.
You blunder the pawn.
Nah, sacrifice the pawn.
Yeah, more you sacrifice, less you blunder.
Exactly. Okay, now we go pawn if you want it that much.
Yeah. A well-known Roman maxima.
And now we go pawn just in case. Not to sacrifice something, you know?
Yeah.
And now we go pawn and start pushing him a little. Wow, I thought h5, but okay, this is
I think this is the moment. He wants to make a new queen. He's pushing that pawn to the end of the board. We do see a trade. Black has created that passed pawn. It's going to be very, very hard to stop that guy. Black's pawn in the middle there, 2 squares away from becoming a new queen.
Yeah.
How is White? And checkmate is unstoppable. White is just going to bring his rook across and give checkmate.
And Magnus realizes. And is he just going to give up now?
Yes.
There's just no way to stop checkmate. You have to give up your rook, but even then, checkmate is coming.
And there it is. Magnus Carlsen resigns, losing in the 4th round to his big rival, Anish Giri. And look at Anish. He's shocked as well about that move from Magnus. Magnus still looking quite calm, but this must be so annoying. He's had such a good day. From Armenia to the US. And in the next one, we're going to follow the big American battle between Wesley So and Hikaru Nakamura, starting in about 18 minutes.
So they did it under a minute. I think it was Wesley and Hikaru. So I can
30 moves in 1 minute.
I'm thinking that just judging by the posture of Hikaru, who looks like he's 1 foot out of the door of this game.
Ivanka, sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt. It's a draw already. I'm putting my house on this.
But you can just see from his posture, he's like, yep. Right, off.
Wow.
They must know that we're watching, and they must just want to break from the limelight, because this exact draw as well, after 15 moves, the position repeating itself 3 times, this exact draw has happened dozens of times in the Meltwater Champions Chess Tour. It's just a sign that the players want to break.
You kind of see that, And then Omar Tishat, he says, my favourite memory as a child, I remember that I accidentally broke my mum's vase with a well-aimed shot. Don't worry, I got away with it.
Wow, clever already back then.
Yes, I like that one as well. I mean, did you do anything where you broke? And,
yeah.
Did you get away with it?
My dad
finds its best diagonal. He's about to support the push of that corner pawn. Harry is about to become a lady. He's going to become a queen. And, Nakamura.
Well, it's game over because the bishop will be lost. And that is it. Hikaru has lost and Hippopotamus has won his first game.
Yeah, I mean, masterpiece by Nepomniachtchi. Looked so calm, composed, in control throughout. Yeah, tough for Nakamura fans. He just never got in that game.
Yeah. What a start for Nepomniachtchi after, I mean, a disappointing ending to the day yesterday, not finding that win in a winning position. Striking back.
Yeah, totally. And the most impressive thing, for me at least, was the fact that it was Hikaru the one
when you've stabilised the position, you've survived the opening, and then you can start to pose questions to your opponent.
Yeah.
Especially at the top level, having the white pieces, it used to be regarded just 20 years ago as a huge advantage. But nowadays...
I know that chess gods... I mean, I wouldn't, like, make a general statement in terms of religion and atheism, you know, like... But when it comes to chess religion... The chess gods, they don't exist. I've seen so many people get away with so many chess crimes, and I've also seen some generous, tremendous karmatic play and not getting rewarded. So this chess is all nonsense. Forget it. It's just about who's getting lucky in the end.
All right, so
I'm going to go rethink all my all my life choices now.
Right.
I think he might even have to give away a rook just to prevent checkmate.
Oh, this is getting so dramatic for world champion Magnus Carlsen. Could this be it?
Yeah.
The moment he loses his chance. Oh, and look at him. He realizes he's in big trouble now. Oh,
30 seconds on the clock as well. There's not enough time to even find a way to keep fighting. White's king is about to get checked. Remember, these guys, they have faced each other plenty of times before. Magnus Carlsen it's a stylistic thing here. That's why he is pausing for thought. He wants to get Nepomniachtchi thinking for himself, not risk blowing it. Okay, he doesn't find one of the best moves. He brings his queen across.
Well, neither of us won.
Yeah, I mean, look at Nepomniachtchi's face. I mean, I'm the same. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, it doesn't quite...
I mean, it's just overworked. It has to act as a blockader for the checks, and it has to cage the opponent's king.
Oh.
Magnus, has he mouse slipped? Did he just give up his rook? Wow,
No.
Magnus Carlsen has lost his own rook. Magnus, he has to find a way to check that king.
Yeah.
The white queen cannot hold the fort any longer.
Okay, the queen is probably going to take its step forward and challenge its counterpart. And now here we have it. And, OK, well, can the black king make a bid for freedom? Because I can see a path where it can run in and hide behind its far advanced pawn as a shield. And if that happens, well...
Yeah. I mean,
Magnus is going to be in trouble.
Yeah, Magnus is on the brink right now. He goes forward with his king because he just couldn't find any other move. Maybe with best play it was a draw, but it does feel dangerous. Now, black has blocked this line. Look, his passed pawn is about to make another queen. Magnus, he needs a miracle. He needs to keep checking that black king. That black king, if it escapes, it's game over.
And here it comes. It's going to move up. And now I think it's just game over.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, any queen trade will favour black. Look at this. Black's king is going to support his passed pawn. Magnus is in big trouble right now. There's no way to stop that.
Well, it's, you know, it wasn't about chess. Yeah, most of the games, most of the mistakes. And clearly it's what happens when... OK, I actually mentioned this before. Yeah, this is what's happening, actually, when you play many days in a row without any rest. So you end up blundering things, blundering in one, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, so that's...
But, I mean, after sort of Magnus won those two final games in that match, were you able to sort of take all the blitz games just as another game, or was it hard mentally?
Obviously, I wasn't able to do anything today, yeah, because, there is like 1001 way to make draw with white. And, well, I thought, like, okay, let's play a normal game, so I don't want to go for a draw. And at some point I was, I think, almost winning out of the opening.
It's too exposed right now. Black still has threats against that white king. He just needs his knight to be able to defend, but it's too far away from the white king right now. OK, Anish Giri, he's going for the draw. He's given a check, and if he gives check now, third time we've reached this position, the game is a draw.
Okay, wow. The first game in the final between Jan Nepomniachtchi and Anish Giri is a draw, but it's not a dull draw. This was a dramatic game. It definitely could have ended with a win, I mean, for both of them, but it was looking really good for Anish Giri, who was just sitting down by the computer. He wanted to look over this. Do you think he's disappointed now, David?
Yeah, for sure, Anish Giri. I mean, he was in charge throughout the whole game. He found some really nice ideas. He was the one who initiated all the kind of complications, the whole kind of melee. And in the end, just when victory was within his grasp, 2 extra pawns, He rushed box in the white king. White's king is actually trapped on that corner now. White's king is trapped in front of its own pawn, and there's no way to make a queen. We'll see stalemate. White can't make a move, and it's a draw.
So we finally have a stalemate.
Stalemate on the board.
Exciting. All right, the second game is a draw. Jan Nepomniachtchi saying like, okay, this is okay. We have another draw in the final between Anish Giri and Jan Nepomniachtchi. The third game will be coming up in about 15 minutes. And this one, David, it wasn't as spectacular as the first one.
No, far less spectacular, but equally well played. Neither side made any mistakes in that game, really. No big blunders, no real inaccuracies either. It was just great opening preparation, especially from Anish Giri. He equalised the game and never let it slip. And I think it was just this position. For me, the star move was this one. Black now, Anish Giri, moving the bishop that is under fire from the knight, retreating it to kick away White's most active piece. The bishop dropped back, attacking this rook, and when the rook did retreat, Anish Giri got his king to safety. As soon as that happened, it signalled that Black was fine. He fought on an equal footing for the rest of the game.
You take it away, yeah.
I guess this last opening that we saw twice in the games today, I mean... Oh, sorry, yeah, but you first in the first game you played this move. In the second game you played this this bishop move. Did you have a chat with maybe a friend, a second, in the break?
Yes, yeah. I mean, obviously. So I studied this line like I guess half a year ago for both colors, and yeah, it's just a draw. To my taste, it's a little bit passive, yeah, this endgame. But once you know all the moves like h5, h4, f5, and okay, all this move order which Anish showed. Well, this is just a draw, yeah? So, I mean, if you slow down here and play inaccurately, then, okay, perhaps Black could be in trouble. In a slight one, but no. I mean, okay, White is trying, let's say. But indeed, was obvious that Anish is very well prepared. So this, I mean, okay, people normally think that neither is much like...
Anish Giri. Giri, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, have you been listening?
The backstab. Yeah, I mean, I have heard many trash talks, but, you know, hitting it where it hurts into my knight, of course, and calling it expensive, I mean, it's below the belt. I mean, I've seen different things, but this is just below the belt. It's completely unacceptable. It's cross the line there. And I think he realizes that, and tomorrow I'll be furious. This is not acceptable.
Oh, okay.
I mean, at a discount, you know, the material, I mean, it's like, I don't know, like $30 or something like this.
Yeah.
While you have to know like how much knowledge and time and effort was put into it, and to call it expensive, I mean, it's just yeah, I just have no words simply for this.
Well, we have enjoyed the Najdorf today, Anish. 4 draws. We were talking about you. I mean, neither of you make any mistakes. You're rock solid. So how do you feel about your performance today?
Well, when I played Black, I was very solid. Last game, to be honest, I was prepared really far.
He's pulled off a miracle there.
Wow.
Nepomniachtchi, look at his eyebrows. He suddenly realizes 18 seconds left as well. He's blundered. There's no way to block that check without losing some material. Yeah, Nepomniachtchi now, he's completely stuck. Whether he takes with the bishop, the queen, or the knight, whether he recaptures White's bishop in any way, there are consequences. I think he's about to lose a rook. Nepomniachtchi in huge trouble.
2 seconds, 1 second. Okay, he just made his move.
Wow.
I was a bit surprised that he didn't take the knight, because I would have thought that was the perfect time to take the knight and then challenge the pawn that's in its place.
Yeah. Wow. I think, yeah, Nepomniachtchi looked away because I don't know whether he's blundered this last move, but either way, he is in huge trouble right now, Jan Nepomniachtchi. The black bishop is attacking White's knight, and if that knight moved, there would have been a knight fork. Black would have won some material. And look at this. Anish Giri, he just played bishop takes knight, ignoring White's bishop, and now...
26, Anish Giri. Are we seeing the very start of an incredible career now?
Yeah, I mean, Anish has always been an amazing player in my eyes, so I definitely love to see him winning tournaments like this, and this is the first time he's won such a big event, and he did it on tie breaks, so even better. So I do think that he is now prime position for his bid in the candidates.
And we are now joined by the winner of the Magnus Carlsen Invitational, Anish Giri. Huge congratulations.
Hello, I just heard you said some start of the career. I mean, nice to meet you. I mean,
as being,
I'm almost retiring.
I guess we're a little bit unfair with you there.
Hello, I just heard you said some start of the career. I mean, nice to meet you. I mean,
as being,
I'm almost retiring.
I guess we're a little bit unfair with you there, Anish. You have been one of the top players for many years, but winning this one, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, playing with these boys, you know, and yeah, no, I mean, obviously it's good, it's great to win, but I mean, I wouldn't call this a career-defining moment or anything. I've won, contrary to this fake news that's been spread by my main competitor. I have won various tournaments on various occasions, including the prestigious Mr. Doji Invitational and a few others. I'm not going to name my own accomplishments. I hope somebody else will do it. It's good before the candidates that I win a tournament like this one, and that I know if I get to a very fortunate situation that I will be close there, which is a long way to go. But if I ever get to that situation, I will not have any doubts, despite what many people are, you know, trying to create.
And Anish, I mean, today was a roller coaster, especially that fourth rapid game. How did you pick up yourself from that, having come so close and then having to go to tiebreaks?
What really helped is the match of Jan against Magnus, because there Jan messed up two must not lose games, and then still won. And I mean, he did it right there a day ago. So I never had any doubt that the match was over once I went to the tiebreak. But of course, the game was bad. I'm disappointed by my...
I'm not sure, to be honest. Like, it's not exactly an attack. He's doing something, but then we just go before. And what do you want exactly? I mean, this bishop on c6 sort of prevents him from doing something good, so that's why... Okay, let's go g4. I think we are fine with the queen trade in general. So now the plan is to run the pawns. Okay, collect one when you get a chance. Okay, takes. Now it should be just lost for him. And this is checkmate, I believe. Yeah.
The thing that makes the dragon sort of a difficult opening for black to play is that everybody knows, or at least everybody who's played e4 at some point in their life, everybody just knows how to attack. You just push on the king side, and this makes the dragon a very difficult opening to play as black, but a more difficult, but an easier opening to play as white. And you can see here, he's never got going on the queen side, and already he's getting mated, I think, pretty shortly, and unless he finds some brilliant defense. So it's really not an opening that you want to play by hand, because people know what to do.
We have a bunch of semi-talented players, I guess, so we're very good, but they're not gonna be like world top level. So we'll definitely got like Max Warmerdam, who as you guys for sure know, I already mentioned him earlier. Also, we've got my brother Lucas, for example. He's current Dutch chess champion. Who else? Well, we got like Liam Vrolijk, Casper Schoppen. So we definitely got some guys who are quite...
Don't just expose me and saying all you're quoting is old songs, boomer. That makes me feel bad. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean I don't have feelings.
c6, and then white can take.
Wow, has this really happened? Bishop c5.
Wow. Okay.
Bishop g3, queen d5.
Bishops. Okay, it looks like we do have bishop c4 on the board.
What is going on after queen c4?
I don't know, to be honest.
Maybe just cough and knock this black bishop off the board and castle queenside somehow.
Even then, you wouldn't be out of the woods. But I like the way you think.
Yeah. Coffee house chess. So rook g8. Yeah, I mean
bishop c7.
Yeah, coming in.
Threat of mate in 2.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Looks scary. Looks scary.
King e7 would be a nice line.
Okay, let me and Tanya try and work this out. King e7. How do we give mate here? I mean,
mate in 4.
Oh dear. Let's do this, Tanya. Mate in 4. Okay, queen d6, king e8. Okay, queen d6, king e8, queen takes d7.
Yeah.
d7.
Took me longer than I
d6, rook f7. That is super pretty.
Yeah.
Oh wow. If we see this, I mean, you've probably been asked this 100 times before, but is there anyone you would like to face or not like to face in the World Championship match, or do you literally not even care?
No, obviously I care. I think just pure horror. But I do think that he deals with it better than I would, for instance, because he's so used to it. But still, it's pretty much, I feel, the worst feeling you have in chess, when you just run into something as nasty as this, and you just can't see a simple way out, and you know your opponent has prepared everything, is still blitzing. So no, I think just horror sums it up.
Yeah.
Obviously, as you mentioned, his prep is extremely good. His calculation is definitely one of his strong suits, as well as just pure concentration. And I would say he's also a pretty undogmatic player. And he's always adaptable to new circumstances, and he often looks at moves that I might reject. I think he sort of has a wider search than I do in a lot of positions. So it means that he somehow comes up with ideas that I cannot find. So I'd say those are some of his biggest strengths. But I think he's definitely way below the top 3 guys in terms of chances to win. And I wouldn't put too much emphasis on his recent results in both online and in Tata.
Pieces, they're like ice cream flavors. It's always much better if you have as many as possible. And here, you definitely don't want to trade off the rook. You need the rook to coordinate with the knight, because it does something the knight can't do. Yeah, I think if he can achieve that, then Bashir will hold. So
I haven't heard that one before, where pieces are like an ice cream flavor.
I can't explain it properly, but yeah, I was watching this American GM called Jesse Cry. He was actually commentating on a tournament I played in, and he explained it really well. He was like, just keep as many different types of pieces on the board as possible. It's like ice cream flavors. It's always much more exciting and much more tasty if you have loads of different flavors. And so that's why in situations, for example, where you have a knight and bishop against a rook, the knight and bishop on their own, sometimes better than the rook, sometimes not. But if you have a rook as well as the bishop and knight against maybe 2 rooks, then you're always doing much better. So, yeah, keeping the rooks on the board. I think Magnus mentioned it earlier as well. That is the key.
I thought the rook on A was an A7 still.
Okay. And then what would be winning? E6?
No, never mind me. I thought it was a trap with E6, King F6, King E7, King F7, Rook F6, King F6, E8, Rook D7, and King E4, Rook A2. But you can just take in D7.
Okay.
Never mind. Never mind.
Okay, in this position.
Traditionally. But actually, this could be really good for white. Knight D4, Knight B6, F4.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Takes.
which way do you take? Rook?
I think
bishop, and we win.
He's going for it. He is going for knight f7.
He's grabbing that pawn.
Yeah.
He's not going to wait any longer. He does it.
How else can black try and fight on?
Yeah, that's it. Ragnar resigns.
Yeah, he just resigned.
Okay. Yeah, queen b5, just
an interesting position.
Queen c6.
Yeah.
But then you just move the queen somewhere.
Queen e5. No, not queen e5. That's queen f3 mate.
Ah. Yeah, but where do you move the queen?
That's a good question. A3?
Queen a3. Oh, there must. This feels like a puzzle rush type of mate somehow.
Can't say that here.
I mean, a puzzle storm type of.
This is the thing about Maxim as well. When he's calculated it, he's not going to fuck around and think to double check and everything. He just goes for it.
Yeah. Just feels like there's going to be some smothered mate somewhere, but
yeah, queen d3, queen d2, queen h7.
Magnus, that is
such a great line.
Take on h7, check, and checkmate.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think.
Wow,
just to mention that, I think black probably has a lot of moves to win. Yeah,
quite strong here.
Bishop f8 and so on.
Yeah, so I mean, he's currently going to be a point ahead of the pack, but could we see anyone step within half a point of him? Any of those three players chasing? Will they win their games? Any thoughts, Magnus, on where the most exciting action is right now?
I think all of the games are very interesting. Let's, for a moment, not deal with the psycho who has 5 minutes left for 26 moves and probably enjoys it.
I just assumed I was I assumed I was black, and I spent the whole morning 3-4 hours preparing for Jeffrey Tiong with black. Turned up to the board. I was like, why are you sitting on that side? And he was like, no, you're white, mate. And I self-destructed very quickly.
Yeah, we do.
You didn't need to do that.
I didn't need to do that, but I think I sat there the first 10 minutes being like, what should I even play on move one? What's his repertoire?
I had this against Svidler once in Amber, blindfold. But kind of the opposite happened to me. I sat there for 2 minutes trying to play d4 as white. And then he politely told me that I'm playing black. And I said, sure, and crushed him in 20 moves.
That's the professional approach.
The best speed chess players in the world, Carlsen and Nakamura. His qualification won't rest on those two games. He needs to forget and move on.
And in the next one for Aryan, he's actually going to face Alireza Firouzja, both of them with heritage from Iran. So that's an interesting encounter, and both very young players. Very sad to see Aryan so disappointed, but hopefully he can strike back. We know he's an amazing chess player. You did mention he did have some chances in this game, David, but where did Hikaru find that win?
Yeah, it was actually in this position, and here, Tari, we notice it's level material on the board. Same number of pawns, same number of pieces, but white does have this target potentially at the corner of the board. And here, Aryan, he did try a nice flashy tactic, but it didn't quite work. His idea was to drop his knight into white's position, trying to overwhelm.
Your next game now is up against Magnus Carlsen. What do you think about that?
I think it's time to get my first win now.
Great. Will you play an aggressive game, or?
Yeah, obviously that's how I will have to beat him. I have to just go straight for his neck and then just play my best.
I love that attitude. In the last game of today, and David and Yamaka.
This is the highlight of my career, for sure. This is what I always dreamed of when I first took up chess.
It's like the next big thing, Kaya. We're cool.
I mean, I can't even move the mouse anymore.
Run away, David, run away.
You feel like Pingy?
Yeah. This is. I'm just. Yeah. You guys are looking beautiful. Okay, the game is starting. I'm gonna take a picture of you guys. Smile. All right, and the last game has started. So you guys looking great, and go ahead and commentate. What's happening?
Okay, let's make a quick draw, guys, so that we can get out of these outfits. Okay, we do see the king's pawn opening. White plays the
and then go back. It's not so clear. I achieved something with moving my rook from b1 to b2. But here again, I could continue to terrorize him with repetition. So, no, I mean, there is nothing to be proud of this game for me. I really feel like a terrorist.
Sebastian Christiansen, also 23, I think, or turning 23. So it's a battle of two young ones. And then we do have Hikaru Nakamura against Gawain Jones. Another.
Our fellow Englishman.
Yeah.
Can he strike back after a bad day yesterday?
It's going to be interesting. And then we do see Prag, as we love to follow, the 15-year-old, a super tough start to the day for him against Levon Aronian, fighting to qualify. Wesley So against Ariam Tari on the same score. So who will win that one? And then we have Shakhdiyar Mamdiarov against Timur Rajabov, both from Azerbaijan. So an all Azerbaijani fight there. And then we have Sergei Karyakin against Vidit and Lequamliem against Leonid Dominguez. But the game that we will follow is the game between Alireza Firouzja and Magnus Carlsen. And we know why, of course, David. Magnus has said it. Alireza Firouzja, he thinks that is the next world chess champion.
Exactly. Nepomniachtchi might have won the right to challenge Magnus today, but in the next few years, Firouzja is going to be one of the favourites for sure. He's only 17. He's always actually up there in these elite tournaments nowadays, always chasing Magnus. He hasn't quite won anything massive yet, but this could be his time to shine. He's getting closer every time, and this game's going to be close.
All right, in that World Chess Championship match, and will it be a super tough one for him?
Undoubtedly, it's going to be a tough one for him. As you were speaking earlier, just Jan's score against Magnus. These two have also worked together. They know each other well. They know where their weaknesses and strengths are. Magnus has had a world championship against Vishy Anand, another one against Vishy. Then he went on to play Sergei Karyakin, then Fabiano Caruana, and now the world number 3, Jan Nepomniachtchi. It's not going to be easy for Magnus. I think, yes, Magnus is a favorite, but it's not a given at all. And Jan Nepomniachtchi, especially seeing his style of play in this candidate, you know, one of the things we often speak about is his stability, his consistency, trying to be solid in situations, was something that we'll always have questioned with Jan. But he showed that in this particular candidate that he's worked on that. He's worked on those weaknesses, and what a performance he had. So with everything put together, I think it's going to be a really tough one for Magnus there.
Yeah, and Vladimir, congratulations, first of all. I know Jan will probably be celebrating for a few days yet, but when will the hard work start? When will the preparation start? And say Levon Aronian, he never takes these quick draws, but there we go. This position has arisen so many times in the tour, and it's really testing our patience now, the players. I can understand they're tired. It's been a long event. They want to secure their place, but it is slightly disrespectful, I think, to the viewers and the fans.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there, David. And just looking at the score, I can see there have been a few other draws, right?
So this game finished in exactly the same way that the Nakamura-Firouzja game finished. And,
and so did the Rajabov. So we're in round 12, we've had
look at that.
This variation 3 times. And
I mean,
is it harsh to say it's a bit disgusting?
Yeah, I don't think it's harsh at all. I think even the word disgusting is quite lenient for what's happening here. In other sports, they would just call it match fixing simply. And yeah, maybe the players have to...
I mean, it's...
probably seeing that result is going to be a bit frustrating for him. But he's still got a chance, and Firouzja should now be safe if he can make 1 draw from his last 2 games.
We do have 2 rounds to go now, Jovanka. In the preliminaries, it is really, really tight on the table. And for many players, it's going to be intense, these 2 last rounds. What should we expect now from the chess? I mean, we shouldn't expect some quick draws now, I suppose.
Well, it depends where on the table you are. If you're at the top, I think you're pretty safe. So I think Magnus, Hikaru, things start to become a little bit awkward for people like Levon Aronian, who are hovering on around the 8th place, and those players will have to win a game just to secure their spot, and that means we're going to see some real cutthroat chess. We're not going to see quick draws.
Actually, something that Firouzja had earlier against the world champion a couple of rounds ago. And Firouzja last time was on the white side. He's trying to copy Magnus's strategy, clearly. This time he's on the black side of this opening. And Praggnanandhaa, meanwhile, extremely well prepared. Got some great coaches with him. Blitzes out a different move. He brings his bishop to maybe not the most active square, but it is a developing move. The bishop's better here than it was on its start square. Yeah.
A bit sad, David. No one has taken up the gauntlet and developed the queen and given me the chance to show
off your knowledge.
Exactly, and I have been practicing this last month, and